Here's your worst nightmare. Your fat cell has divided and created a second fat cell. And over time, that second fat cell has divided and made another fat cell. And each one of those fat cells, it's getting funny, has a tendency to get bigger. My name is Coach Rudy Matia, strength and conditioning coach and fitness expert. And let me explain. There's something called spillover. When you eat too many carbohydrates and probably too much fat, protein's a little unusual because it's not stored as fat so easily, but carbs and fat particularly are stored quite easily. Let's say, for example, you've trained. I just got through working out, so I'm kind of in a fasted state and I'm catabolic because I've already trained. So when I eat here in a little while, I'm gonna probably have 50 grams of protein and not really worried about that being stored as fat. I'm probably gonna have, since I just trained, I may have as many as 40 grams of carbs, probably more around 30. And those carbohydrates are gonna be shuttled mostly back into my muscles for glycogen, right? If I was untrained, some of those carbohydrates would be shuttled to the muscle, but if I wasn't trained, I haven't exercised, my muscles weren't stimulated, and I'm already full of glycogen from the day before, the meal before, a lot of that carbohydrates are gonna be shuttled to the fat cells. And then there's something called spillover. The fat cells get so fat that they split in half like Siamese twins, and then you got another fat cell. And then if you don't do something about it, eventually that fat cell grows again. So we want to keep those fat cells singular, right? We don't want them plural. So the best way to do that, there's something else I do. I practice what I call 4x4, which means I eat 4 times a day, separated by 4 hours. So there's enough time in those 4 hours where perhaps I've trained, perhaps I went for a walk, perhaps I went for a bike ride, perhaps I went to yoga, perhaps I did something, and now I'm ready to take in some nutrients. Those nutrients, like I explained earlier, can be shuttled toward the muscle, as well as some stored as fat, but not the majority. So that's the way that works. Research it. I think I'm pretty close there from just a layman's point of view. And what I've used to get from 235 pounds to 210, on my way to 200, which should be about 10% body fat, starting at 22% body fat at 235. Really happy about those results thus far. Give that a shot. 4x4, 4 meals, separated by 4 hours, trying to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight over those 4 meals. So maybe 250 per meal. Do your math. I keep my carbs most of the time at 30 or less, so I don't have that huge insulin spike and I'm not storing all those carbohydrates as fat. After my training, before my training, particularly before, I may bump those carbs up a bit to 50 to use those for my workout. After my workout, if I want to be a little generous, I'll bump them up to 50 again, but usually I'll keep them around 30 because I don't want to spill over. Don't want those one fat cell to become 2 fat cells. All right, if you found me first time, my name is Rudy Matia. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. This is my page, Performance Matters. My motto here is your performance today, how you perform today is going to matter a lot to your tomorrows and the days after. If you're brand new, subscribe, leave me a message or leave me a comment. And thanks, you guys joined lately. We've got our subscribers up to 150 and I started at 0 just a little while ago. And I'm trying to post more often, so I'm gonna try to get 1 a day in. It's been a little bit sporadic, starting a new habit is hard. So starting a new dieting program, 4x4, no spillover. Simple, but it can be hard. All right, thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.